Good evening everybody and welcome to the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship presented by Engine Oil Direct. We're here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal on iRacing.com. My name is Andrew Woodhouse and I'm joined as usual by my partners in crime, Adam Bath, and iRacing World Championship driver Alex Simpson. Alex will be along in a second. Adam, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, it's very, very challenging. It's very, very well known, very fast, and very tricky.
Yeah, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, probably one of my favourite racetracks on the iRacing service. It's provided some great racing here when we were last here in Season 7. And it's provided some good results for us in the commentary box. Of course, you taking a race victory back in Season 7. So you know the track well as well. Championship standings coming into this first race of the evening here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Wojciech Savidovic is atop the points by 453 points over Andreas Katz in second. Andreas Katz having a penalty this race meeting, so he's starting towards the back of the grid. David Baker is in third with Stelian Shepelevsky in fourth and Simon Field in fifth. Alex Malensky in sixth, Kip Stevens in seventh, Sebastian Job in eighth, Pete Newman in ninth, and Jamie Rushworth rounds out the top 10 in the point standing. So Andrew, you've won a race here, so you can tell us how the Kia handles around this circuit.
Yeah, Montreal is one of my favourite circuits to watch or to compete at. It's tricky, you know, you've got to have a lot of commitment between these walls and the fast chicanes. You've got to be inch perfect. I mean, Alex has driven here in the World Championship. Alex, welcome, my friend. It's not as easy as it looks, is it, round here?
No, not at all. Hello, everybody. Good to be here again. Yeah, great track and very demanding as well. You really need to push the car right to the edge of the walls, and sometimes they just bite you. You know, you just try and take a little bit more, you know, a couple of inches extra here and there, and yeah, you just get a little bit of suspension damage. So we're going to have to keep a real eye out for that today. There's going to be drivers, I think, dropping back a little bit.
This is the first race meeting that we've had on Motors TV that's been at one of the circuits used on the Formula 1 calendar, and Alex, as a result, this one is a lot wider, a bit more potential for overtaking, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. We've seen in previous seasons going into sort of the second chicane and then again into the final one before the Wall of Champions. Good opportunity for overtaking, and I dare say we'll see the odd move into turn one as well. But just the nature of the Kia there, it's quite easy to sort of defend and have the inside line for the next corner. So it could be some great scraps out there tonight.
And don't forget the hairpin.
Well, of course, yes.
One thing we did see here last time we were here, a lot of disqualifications. It looks like it's pretty easy to pick up a few incident points and for cutting the course as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of margin for error here. The drivers will naturally try to take a couple of little advantages with the curbs and everything. We see it in real life, and we see it in iRacing.com as well. But the drivers are punished as well. Alex, incident points, remember, for the viewers at home, are very much in effect, and they can cost you the race.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen many times already, you know, drivers getting themselves disqualified for picking up too many points. So yeah, we're gonna have to keep an eye on that. It's so easy to pick up, you know, a 2x and things like that from hitting the wall, and so yeah, it's gonna be tricky for a lot of drivers.
Now, usually in the BSRTC Pro Series, we have a very, very close grid at the front. It's not so much this time, is it, Adam? There's 0.6 of a second nearly between Dan Hunt and on pole position and Stelian Shepelevsky in third.
Yeah, Dan Hunt seems to be on fire this race meeting. In practice, he was 0.3 of a second quicker than Sebastian Job, and he's been able to maintain that margin even through qualifying. He is on pole position for the first race of the evening tonight, with Sebastian Job alongside him for Apex Racing TV. Stelian Shepelevsky, it's good to see him back at the front of the pack after having a few bad race meetings due to some technical issues. He's in third, with Pete Newman ever increasing his performance as well. He's up in fourth. Wojciech Savidovic down in fifth, with David Baker in his now customary sixth position on the grid. Jamie Rushworth in seventh place, Lee Thompson in eighth, Jake Blackhall in ninth, taking his first win for Apex Racing TV last week at Watkins Glen, and Simon Field in 10th, Jamie Fluke 11th, 12th Ben Palmer, 13th Stephen Burke, Russell Laylow in 14th with Sharon Kaiser in 15th, 16th Steve Heppard, 17th Robert Plumley, 18th Kip Stevens, 19th Alex Malensky, and 20th James Nash. 21st On the grid was Mark Johnston with Linus Bostrom returning to the series this evening as well in 22nd, Steve Walker in 23rd, Laura Bond in 24th, Charlie Sears in 25th, Andrew Whitehead 26th, Steve Richardson 27th, James Leggett 28th, Robert Graham 29th and Scott Malcolm in 30th. 31st is John Roberts, 32nd Colin Cunniff, 33rd Eckhart von Glan, and then the cars that did not set a time in qualifying: Paul Smith, Daniel Kraft, Andreas Katz, Richard Gore and Stanimir Zuzov. Two of the big ones, Kraft and Katz, most likely not setting a time due to penalties being carried over from the Watkins Glen round.
Yes, and we saw a few tete-a-tetes, Alex, last week at Watkins, and quite a few protests were put in and a few were upheld, as we can see.
Yeah, exactly. It's good to see. To be fair, that they are being reviewed, and I was having a chat with some drivers off air as well, and there's definitely a bit more of a mindset now to actually put these protests in as well, and just means that everybody's just got to be on their toes a little bit more. Drivers were quite nice to one another at the start of the season, and so they weren't being reviewed. But now it looks like the claws are out, and you're making contact. You can almost guarantee you got some sort of protest coming your way, as we see Stellian just practicing his starts there.
Yeah. Drivers having an extra couple of minutes, it looks like, before we go to the grid. What is it about this track then, Adam, that makes for such good racing?
I think it's the runs that you can get out of the corners, which allows for cars to set each other up brilliantly going into the next sequence of corners, like the chicane down the straight before the hairpin is a great corner to set a driver up going into the hairpin, and then if not there, you get to set them up going down the long back straight alongside the rowing straight before the final chicane, and then down the front straight into turn one. So there's just so many overtaking opportunities to at this racetrack, and something to watch tonight. If you're interested in the championship standings, the battle for fourth, Chepelevsky, Field and Smolensky are separated by about 60 points, which in the BSRTC is not a lot. And with Chepelevsky up in third, Field in 10th position, and Smolensky down in 19th. This battle could change during the evening as the cars are heading down to the grid now.
There's only 500 points, Alex, between 10th and about 20th, and I know that sounds like a lot of points, but when you consider that Savidovic is on 4,418 at the moment, there's 10 drivers there who, with a good second half of the season, can really make a case as getting into the showdown and fighting for the big money.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, we're only just over the halfway point in the season as well, so what's gone before can easily just swing the other way around. So, yeah, drivers sort of, like you say, anywhere from sort of 10th to 20th have still got a good opportunity to get themselves in there, and there's a lot of race winners in that sort of 10 drivers there as well. So, it's like you say, everything to play for.
The front row of the grid hasn't formed up quite yet. We're still waiting for a few people to take their position. You can see Pete Newman and Stellian Chepelevsky there, though, Adam. It's important for them to get a good result, isn't it? Especially Chepelevsky, who doesn't have a race win this season. Yeah,
last time Stellian Chepelevsky won a race was all the way back in season 5 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, driving back then for Yuasa Racing. So it's been a long time since the season 4 runner-up has won a race. Let's see if he can do it as the lights are about to go on, Andrew.
They are indeed. And we're now about to go green here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, and we are now. Dan Hunt gets a good start. Chepelevsky, the practice pays off. A car around at the back. Paul Smith and John Roberts having a collision. And Hunt into turn 1 ahead of his teammate Chepelevsky.
Chepelevsky got forced off there by Sebastian Joe right from the get-go as they head out of the first corner.
Newman in 4th behind Job. Now Job getting ahead of the man who is in 9th place in the championship. Just one position behind him. I can hear some contact somewhere.
Yeah, it was Savidovic getting into the back of Pete Newman as we head through the tight chicane at the beginning of the lap. Everyone getting through safely.
Alex, the tyres are not up to temperature yet, up to pressure. It's very tricky on this course early on.
Yeah, you were saying off air as well, it's going to take about a lap for these pressures to build up. Everyone just being a little bit cagey as we're looking a little bit further through the pack now, just all just going through the sort of the second of the chicanes there, just too wide there as well, just giving everyone a little bit of room out there. Good sensible driving. I think we may have had somebody, I don't know what happened to John Roberts and Paul Smith, but they seem quite a way back at the moment as well, so maybe an instant off camera.
I'm guessing.
Who was that? Sorry, somebody there just going into the chicane. I'm not sure who that was. It might have been Jamie Fluke. No, it wasn't actually. It was another one of the Power Max cars. They just got their rear wheels onto the.
Von Glan, somebody's off at the hairpin as well. There's a bit of a pile up at the hairpin, in fact.
Yeah, so one car stops. It's an Apex Racing TV car involved, and the caution is called. Stanimir Zuzov, James Nash involved, Eckhart Von Glan in the Laser Tools car. Quite a few cars involved. It all started, I think, from Robert Graham losing control of the car into the hairpin. If you can get a replay of this, Alex.
Yep.
It's Robert Graham losing control.
Oh, big time, yeah.
And I think everyone just going off in sympathy, really.
Yeah, and it's not a great place where to have 3 or 4 cars blocking the circuit. You don't know how long they're going to be there for, so the safety car is deployed.
Not often we see one called in race 1, but it will certainly bring Stelin Chepelevsky right back up to Daniel Hunt. Hunt leading at the completion of lap 1. Stelin Chepelevsky's gained 1 position, and Sebastian Job won't be happy about that. Job down to 3rd place now. Pete Newman in 4th, Vidovic 5th, and really the top 10 is pretty much exactly the same. Simon Field has gained a place up to 9th, and Jamie Fluke has gained a position up to 10th. So just a few changes at the back end of the top 10.
Yeah, it's a shame for Daniel Hunt because he had a very good start. But it seemed to degenerate, didn't it, at the back of the field. I wonder if we can get a replay, Alex, of what happened with John and Paul as well at the start.
Yeah, see if I can jump that back as well. I think also there was at the start there, we were lucky not to have lost Chepelevsky and Job. Actually, they were in the wall together there, so
yeah,
very lucky.
John Roberts either stalled or did not get, or had some sort of problem, because when the lights went green, he just did not move, and the Laser Tools car got round him, but Paul Smith just clattered into the back of him. No chance to move around.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure we're there yet. You can see the aftermath of it. Let's not quite go so far back this time.
It appears that Andreas Katz hasn't started the race as well, so the man who's in 2nd in the championship not going to score any points in this race.
I want a better camera angle to see this. Here we go. So replay up on screen now. We're looking for a car that's not going to move. There it is at the back. You're right. Yeah, exactly that. The 2 drivers directly behind Roberts managed to avoid the incident, and then they're just playing a little bit of I'm not sure what that is on the track. Just trying to avoid each other there, but yeah.
And as you were saying, Stelin Chepelevsky and Sebastian Job, is it Chepelevsky getting a good start away from the line and immediately cutting across in front of Job, and then both of them going off, luckily not coming back into the field and collecting a few cars?
And they managed to get on in 2nd and 3rd as well, which is even more remarkable after they very nearly ended up in the fence. It's so very easy to cause an accident there. I caused one in season 7. Just going in a little bit too hot, and when the tyres aren't quite right, Alex, it's so easy to just carry a bit too much speed. You lose the rear, and then that's that.
Exactly that. I think they were very, very lucky to maintain their position there and not have a huge accident, because it could have easily funneled back into the track there. So
yeah, we might not have had a safety car for 4 or 5 cars at the hairpin. It might have been 35 cars.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, almost as good as the incident we had last time out at Watkins Glen where the leaders got took out.
Oh yeah, well, there was all sorts going on there. Since we've had quite a few safety cars here in the last few weeks on Motors TV, but that's one of the good things about iRacing, is that the race just doesn't go on nonsensically. There is a safety car, it bunches everything up, keeps everyone on the straight and narrow, so to speak, and we can get on with the race in 1 lap's time, because the safety car is going to come in this time, Alex.
Yeah, they don't come out arbitrarily, do they? I mean, genuinely, we have to have an incident that blocks the track, and as we can see there in the hairpin, the track was pretty much blocked. Everybody had to come to a standstill there, so the safety car was thrown. But that's why I think we don't see him very often, apart from on the first lap, really, do we? In the series, it was Watkins Glen was quite a rare incident to have it sort of in about lap 7 or 8. Did we?
Yeah, in the middle of the race. And safety cars do in real life. They allowed to spice up the racing, and we had a fantastic finish there with Apex Racing TV taking a 1-2-3. And I'm sure it's going to spice up the racing this time around as we're heading down towards the hairpin, and not too long before we go green. Can Chepelevsky stick it to Dan Hunt, or do you think because they're GT Omega teammates they'll probably not race each other just as hard?
To be honest, Adam, I think Hunt's going to clear off anyway. He was 0.6 of a second quicker than Chepelevsky in qualifying. He was 0.3 quicker than him in practice. I don't think we'll be seeing Dan Hunt for long, Alex.
I think you're right. He's just on fire here this week. I think he's just going to, like I say, he's just going to light it up and pull away.
So only a couple of laps behind the safety car. It's allowed those at the back as well who were involved in accidents to come in and get their fast repair and get back out, and still with him in with the chance of possibly a reverse grid as the safety car, that Ford Mustang, going to pull into the pit lane. Then Dan Hunt is going to hit it through the final chicane, past the wall of champions, and he's on his way, and already he's got a second lead. That's how we do a restart, Alex. Brilliant.
Yeah, fantastic start. He's very, very quick through that final chicane. Like you say, 1 second gap already. Job might have a little look on Chepelevsky, no, just a little bit too far back, as everybody else is going to come funneling through right now as well.
Yeah, Job right on it right from the get-go here, and I think he knows he has to do something because Daniel Hunt is in really a league of his own at the moment, and he has to get past that GP Omega teammate. And look at him, he's all over the grass, runs a little bit wide, nearly hits the wall there for the first chicane, and now down towards this left-right chicane, and whoa, look how wide they go, almost onto the marbles, looks down the inside, but just no way through as we now head onto this short straight before the next chicane.
Sebastian Vettel knows all about going onto the marbles, Alex, doesn't he? 2011, when he's onto the wet patch, he threw the lead away to Jenson Button. And so easy to get as well. If you get offline even in the dry here, it's very difficult.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic race that was, and that just brings up a good point once we get...
Here comes Joe.
Yeah, Joe having a little look. We'll come back to that point in a second.
And here comes Savidovic as well, Alex. The hairpin.
Yeah, Savidovic through on Newman. He's going to have to go around the outside. Joe does get the move done on Chepelevsky. Chepelevsky gets good exit though. Savidovic can't go around the outside, so Newman holds on to that, but it brings the point up about the track surface, the dynamic track surface that's going to be coming into iRacing as well. They've modelled the marbles and everything. That's going to make the racing far more interesting for the end of the season. I dare say we're going to get it by the time we finish this championship up.
Chepelevsky, Adam, doesn't get he doesn't get back next to Sebastian Job for a move into the chicane, as a couple of people bouncing quite severely over that final curb, getting very close to the wall of champions.
Yeah, and if you bounce over the curbs just a bit too much, you might pick up an incident point, which seriously hampered Graham Carroll back in Season 7, ended up losing a race victory because of it. And it's all very tight in the battle for 6th place. David Baker holding off Jamie Rushworth, with Lee Thompson in 8th, Summerfield in 9th, and Jamie Fluke rounding out the top 10. They were all really all over the place going through the final chicane. Summerfield lining up Lee Thompson. Those two are pretty close as they head through that first right-left chicane, through this long right-hander, and then into the left-hander. It's very hard to overtake there, but Field does it. Just as I said that, he's not able to get the move done though, because Lee Thompson has the inside line, and Summerfield really going out wide there, but I think he's got the speed, and he should have a good slipstream as they head down towards this right-left chicane. Yeah,
the straight's not quite long enough. You need to brake fairly early, just before the bridge in this Kia Optima, to get it turned in, get it stopped, miss a lot of that inside curb, and not pick up a slowdown. Alex, it was a great effort from Field in the infield section. It's very difficult to pass there.
Yeah, he's not giving up yet. I tell you, he's going to look round the outside to the hairpin. Both drivers very late on the brakes. Field just gives Lee a little nudge to get going there. He got Jamie Fluke behind him as well, so he had to duck back in there. Otherwise, Fluke might as well just nipped up the inside. Oh, this is so close though, going into the chicane. Definitely going to get a run, surely. Lee going very defensive, very early on the straight.
You can see Russell Laidler just behind. He's on his own, just in the middle of these two packs that are forming. As Field and Thompson side by side. Thompson bounces over the curb, and Field bounces over the curb. Very nearly takes Thompson out, but he gets the move done. That's really good. And Jamie Fluke's now through into 9th, ahead of Lee Thompson. So the former World Championship driver going slightly backwards in the early going.
Yeah, he's teammates
on,
just
Alex.
behind him there as well, Jake Blackwell, so they're having a good run. But yeah, Lee just had to really get out of it in the middle of that chicane, and that's what let Fluke get the run on him there into turn 1. So good driving from Fluke. He saw that unfolding in front of him and knew that he just needed to nail the exit, and that was an easy place for him.
The battle for third could be getting exciting now. Chepelevsky is now coming under pressure from Pete Newman and Wojciech Savidovic. Last time around, Chepelevsky 140.625, 0.2 of a second slower than Pete Newman and Wojciech Savidovic. So the GT Omega car might be sitting in third place for the moment, but I don't think that's going to be for too much longer, because Newman has got a good run coming out of that chicane, Andrew.
Yeah, he does. He's going to come to the inside here. And can he outbrake Stelian Chepelevsky in the GT Omega car? Newman's been quick here in practice all week, and Savidovic tries to stick at the inside. There's a bit of contact, but Newman gets through. Really good move by him, the team owner of the team named after himself. And Chepelevsky caught a little bit napping there, you have to say, Alex, down towards the hairpin, and now Savidovic and side by side with Dave Baker.
Yeah, this battle just carrying on, going through to chicane, and further back we've got Field and Fluke as well, side by side through the chicane. How does that all...
Oh, Field again!
And he gets hit by Thompson, and I think he might have picked up a slowdown, Andrew.
Field's got his pilot's licence.
Big slowdown. Look at all those places, down to 12th place there. He's still conceding places. Is that going to be, Laidler through as well? So that's all the way down to 13th. That just goes to show how much that can kill you through there.
That's the other thing, Alex, for everyone who's watching us for the first time on Motors TV. Welcome, everyone. That's the other thing, Alex. Drivers can pick up a slowdown if they do take liberties with the track limits.
Yeah, exactly. There's no course.
The Field hits the wall in the first chicane as well.
No course cutting or extending, or it's very minimised anyway, because like I say, you will pick up a penalty or an incident point as well. So they can lead to a total disqualification, or just an immediate 2.5 seconds that you've got to give up, or somewhere around there anyway.
Well, it's now Wojciech Savidovic's turn to try and get past Stelian Chepelevsky. He couldn't do it in the hairpin a lap ago. He didn't get the best of runs there through the chicane. A bit too far back ready to have a lunge. And yeah, Stelian Chepelevsky holds on to his 4th place, closes in a bit under braking on Pete Newman. Let's see if Savidovic can get a good run out of the hairpin and close in on the GT Omega car. Just doesn't look like he's close enough this time around.
No, in fact, Dave Baker's possibly slightly closer to the Polish driver than what he is to the back of Stelian Chepelevsky as they go down the main straight again. Towards the final chicane, Chepelevsky just stays in line behind Pete Newman.
Battle for 10th, Jake Blackhall and Ben Palmer. Side by side into the chicane. Will the Apex car try and do that move that Simon Field did? Whoa, all over the curbs, Ben Palmer there. And here comes Russell Laidler and Simon Field, those two closing in. And now it's a 4-car battle for 10th place. Laidler looks down the inside into the first corner, but Field could try and go around the outside of the GT Omega car, and he's done it down the inside. Fantastic opportunistic move there from Simon Field. He's working his way back up the pack after that slowdown. He's now up into 12th place.
Yeah, that's brilliant from Simon Field. Just used the momentum, the extra momentum around the outside of turn 2, made that stick, and around the outside of turn 1 and the inside for turn 2. And Field back up there now in the position that he was in a few moments ago. Ben Palmer is ahead of Jake Blackhall, and can he set about getting after Lee Thompson? Well, Thompson is dropping off Jamie Fluke slightly, who's 2 seconds behind, or 3 seconds behind Jamie Rushworth, Alex, who's he's not really done anything yet. Rushworth started 7th, he's 7th at the moment, but you know that he's probably conserving his car, conserving his tyres, and from later on, Savidovic barges past Chepelevsky at the hairpin.
And here comes David Baker as well, Alex.
Yeah, literally just saw that on the timing screen as well. Just missed it. I'm going to take a quick look at that back on replay, because pretty important for Wojciech to get up there. 1.4 seconds behind Pete Newman now. He might get a podium, and of course, podiums mean everything for him for the showdown points. What he's going to be starting with, so he's leading that at the moment. But let's have a look at this overtake now into the hairpin. Just ducks out late under brakes. It looked like Chepelevsky tried to defend it a little bit. It was just a little bit too late. Wojciech was already there, and just had to muscle his way past. So in the end, I think good overtaking manoeuvre, and Stelian knew that he needed just to give a little bit more room, otherwise it would have ended in disaster.
Tell you what, Savidovic didn't look half exciting through the final chicane there, using all of the curbs. Do you think it's really to gain an advantage through that final chicane you have to use those curbs, or do you think driving it more smoothly is the best approach?
It's all about the exit, really, and if that means that you've got to bump over those curves to get as a good exit speed as you possibly can, then the drivers will be doing that. So some will obviously be flirting with the corner cut penalties we saw earlier on. The more you can take of that inside curve, the better your exit speed is going to be. So some drivers probably just going to play it safe, and Wojciech knows he's got a championship to worry about out there, so he's not going to throw away 5 or 6 places on a slowdown penalty.
Battle for 6th then, David Baker versus Jamie Rushworth. Simpson Racing versus Power Max, and Baker moves over just to the inside there. Andrew, he's currently sitting in his customary 6th position, however he might not be sitting there for much longer.
No, but that would be a shame if he was to leave 6th. He likes it there. As Rushworth...
there's another battle going on further back. Sorry, we're just seeing it coming out of the hairpin.
Palmer and...
Steve Hefford and Stephen Burke, just 1/10 of a second. Hefford almost pushing Burke down the straight in the Bodner Motorsports car there as well.
It's the battle of the Steves then as we head into the final chicane. The Wall of Champions beckoning on the outside, Burke on the inside, Hefford on the outside, and Burke just holds on.
Hefford might get a slow down for that.
And Hefford will be at a substantial disadvantage because here comes the other Simpson Racing car of Robert Plumley as we come across the start-finish line.
Oh, Hefford needs to be careful he doesn't move across even more and block Robert Plumley. That was very dangerous and slightly dubious there. I just need to butt in. We have lost John Roberts. He got disqualified a couple of laps ago. I've been trying to get in there with that, but that's the AM category leader, of course, Alex.
Yeah, it's a major for John, and I'm hearing some contact a bit further up the field from this battle as well. Looking at the closest battle on track, it's between Simon Field and Jake Blackwell, but to go back to your points, there's arduous for him. He needs to keep clocking up those points.
Field's got a great run on Jake here, Alex. Into the second chicane he comes, Jake Blackwell, the Australian, is having to defend from Simon Field. Field to the outside for Peter Newman Media. Cuts back.
Good exit as well.
It's a decent one.
See what can happen into the hairpin. One person missing from this battle is Ben Palmer, who picks up a slowdown earlier in the lap, but here comes Field down the inside. And Jake Blackwell positions his car right in the middle of the racetrack and means that Simon Field hasn't been able to find a way through.
Yeah, it's very difficult, isn't it, Alex, when somebody's in the middle of the track like that. As there's a move at the hairpin for... now then, who's that? Colin Cunniff was going up the inside of Smolensky, and I think he's got it done.
Oh, and there's a little bit of someone just got turned there. I think that might have been Robert Graham was indeed Robert Graham got turned. I think it might have been Zuzov that just sent him around there. So just coming out of the hairpin there, drivers just sort of veering back into each other as the track just kinks to the right there.
It was Scott Malcolm, Alex, who was the spinning laser tools car. Rob Graham followed him through, but Zuzov. Just a bit of a nudge.
Oh, great little battle forming up as well. It's Kip Stevens and Jeroen Kaiser. There's a little bit of barging going through turn 2. Engine Oil's direct car and the Power Max car through there. It looks like Kip's lost out a little bit. Here comes Smolensky as well.
Former teammates here going side by side into the first chicane, and Smolensky gets the move, so up into 20th place goes Smolensky. Kip Stevens down to 21st position. At the same time, there's a battle going on for 3rd place between Pete Newman and Wojciech Savidovic. They were very close at the beginning of the lap. Lap times last time around, Pete Newman 1:40.1, Wojciech Savidovic the fastest lap out of anyone on the last lap for 1:40.3 as we head down to the hairpin. Pete Newman just holding on, but we have now got less than 1.5 laps to go in this first race.
Yeah, Simon Field, very, very close as well. He's side by side with Jake going into the hairpin. He's going to have to do it around the outside. Is he going to make it stick? I don't think he is there. I think Jake's got the line. Yeah, very good exit from Jake. He's going to get it, but he's going to get slipstreamed all the way down this straightaway again.
Yeah, nice run out of there by Simon Field, and he's going to pull already to the left-hand side through that little kink. Sometimes difficult to know which way to go. And now into the final chicane. He's going to be later on the brakes. Blackwell has the line, and you would think that he would make that work, and he has, and that actually will allow Laidler to get a run on Field, and Palmer's on the grass trying to have a little look as well. Russell Laidler then for GT Omega Racing is gonna think about a look on Field.
Oh, he hits him.
Oh, and actually Field has hit Blackwell, and Laidler's got round the outside of
He's
Field.
turning it.
Excellent move from Laidler, really opportunistic work by him. As, but not very. It's not turned out very well for Blackwell. He's down now into about 16th place.
Well, he just outbreaks himself there.
Field's still side by side with Laidler. As finally Rusty goes through.
And to divert your way from this just second, Savidovic going down the inside of Newman. That's not an overtaking spot for Wojciech, and you need to... Oh, he hits, just taps Pete Newman just a little bit there, and that might spoil his run as we head down towards the hairpin for the final time. Here he comes. Let's see if what can Savidovic do. Newman defending the inside line. Savidovic will have to go to the outside, and Stalin Chepelevsky looking down the inside. He nudges Savidovic, and Savidovic is going to try and go around the outside, and Chepelevsky is now side by side.
Somebody's blown an engine in front. That's Charles Sears, and it's not going to affect this battle, you wouldn't think, except it's going to give them a bit of a smoke screen as they come down the back straights. Newman, Savidovic, Chepelevsky. Who's going to finish on the podium here?
Into the final corner, all three wide.
Here comes Hunt taking the victory. He's celebrating, and rightly so.
Is Newman going to be able to celebrate third
Slow
place?
down for Newman.
Oh, Newman's giving away third on the final lap.
And he needs to make sure he serves this penalty before he gets to the line.
Has got one too.
Unbelievable. And they need to serve this penalty before they get to the line, otherwise it'll be a disqualification. Do they serve it in time?
I'm sure they've both done that, but
must have done.
Couple of little incidents at the end of that race really spiced it up. There's still a lot going on out there. Colin Cunniff as well. Look at this little gaggle coming down. Your own Kaiser's in there. Cunniff trying to get a run on him. Just can't quite happen.
Well, back in season 7, Alex, we saw something similar happen. The race victory was decided by a slowdown in the final chicane, and right there we saw the fight for the podiums settled by 2 slowdowns for Savidovic and Newman.
It's Graham Carroll, wasn't it? I think came a cropper there, and then there was a very close finish between Kraft and Field, if I remember rightly as well. Dan Hunt wins by 1.5 seconds over Joe. Then it's Chepelevsky in third, Baker fourth, Rush with fifth. They were covered by a sheet of paper, I think. Jamie Fluke in sixth, ahead of Savidovic. Then it's Newman, Thompson, Laidler, and then Field in 11th, Burke 12th, Plumley in 13th, 14th for Palmer, 15th Blackhall, and then we might as well go through the rest as well. Hefford 16th, and Steve Walker 17th, Laura Bond 18th, Kip Stevens 19th, Smolenski 20th. Kaiser in 21st, Cunniff 22nd, Kraft 23rd, and then Richardson, Richard Gore, Whitehead, Malcolm, Graham, Smith, Leggett, Brostrom, Johnson, Von Glant, Nash, Sears, Zuzov, Roberts, and Katz is the order. At the end, well, in fact, Sears was 1 lap down, Zuzov 3, and Roberts 5. Yeah, Zuzov, I wonder if Zuzov got disqualified, Alex, at the hairpin went against the car of Malcolm.
Yeah, it's possible. I didn't see him disappear, but it does take a few seconds.
Sears' engine is still smoking away as they come into the pit lane.
Yeah, he obviously wanted to finish, didn't he? So he's got the points.
Will score points.
Yeah, I was about to say he's got the points for the team, which is all that matters. So.
Well, interesting first race to say the least. Usually we don't see race 1 that action-packed, but we managed to see a caution and some interesting battles between the guys at the front of the pack. Pretty good first race.
Yeah, Hunt very, very quick. Once Seb got past Chepelevsky, he was able to keep him sort of in that same range, but wasn't able to close in. So it's going to be interesting to watch those two come through the pack. I think Stillian really just didn't quite have the pace of some of the others around him. Great qualifier for him, and that's really what's given the podium at the end. So
Chepelevsky only with I think it was the 6th or 7th fastest lap. So he did well to finish where he did in the end, I think. And Hunt did set the fastest lap ahead of Joe by just a 10th. So I mean, it's going to be fascinating to see, Alex, who can get through the pack quickest. I mean, you've got to say that Job is the favourite if it's a battle of overtaking.
I think you're right. Actually, in this restart, I mean, we're going to see what the reverse grid is at the moment, but I think if it's a small number, you could see both those guys get towards the front again as well. They were both very, very quick, but if it's sort of a 25 car reverse, then it's going to be very difficult for them, and we're probably going to see them fighting just inside the top 10 by the end.
GT Omega are in third, Adam, in the Constructors' Championship, and that's going to help them no end, isn't it, with first and third?
Yeah, Daniel Hunt providing some great consistent performance. Back in Season 7, I think he topped the most win standings back in that season, and it's good to see him back on top. I think it's been a while since we saw him take a race. Has he won a race yet this season? I'll just get my stats up.
He's won,
he won
one race, I believe.
And he won it at race 2 at Okayama. So been a while since Daniel Hunt took a race victory this season, and it's good to see him back, and I'm sure he'll keep GT Omega in the hunt for the team's championship. It is incredible that despite them only having 2 wins, they are that high in the championship.
Yeah, consistency really does pay off, and yeah, they're doing well. I mean, Dan Hunt needs this. I mean, he's in the wild card spot at the moment with the wins that he's got. So that's another one that he's picked up just now, and that might well move him closer towards actually the top 10 in the points as well. He's about 125 points behind Lee, who's 11th, who's another 25 off the top 10. So that area, sort of 8th, 9th, and 10th, is going to get ridiculously close, I think, towards the end of this season.
Well, it's time for the reverse grid draw for the second race of the evening. The cars eligible, 15 down to 26. They are Jake Blackhall, Steve Hefford, Steve Walker, Laura Bond, Kip Stevens, Alex Malensky, Jerome Kaiser, Colin Cunniff, Daniel Kraft, Steve Richardson, Richard Gore, and Andrew Whitehead. But which one of those is going to be on pole position? Over to you, Alex.
Yeah, we've got another little change up as well. It's the Wheel of Fortune today. Let's see how this works out. There's going to be no dummy rolls or anything like that. You guys know by now that we don't rig anything or ever, so we're going to go for a straight spin, see who it is who's going to get that pole position. And it is... Oh, it's 25th! Almost 15th! Whoever that was who just missed out will be kicking themselves right now.
Well, Jake Blackhall for Apex Racing TV took his first race victory in race 2 of Watkins Glen, and he could have had a good chance of taking that. But on pole position for the second race of the evening is Richard Gore, with Steve Richardson in second, Daniel Kraft in third, Colin Cunniff in fourth, and Jerome Kaiser in fifth.
Well, that's going to be excellent again for Apex. They seem to have had a lot of good fortune. Not necessarily good fortune there for Blackhall with the wheel, Alex, but it's good to see Richard Gore have a chance at the front, because he's usually very quick when he's allowed to be.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's sitting there. Just having a quick look at the showdown at the moment, the showdown points as they would be. I think he sat at the top of that. Yeah, he is, with starting on 45 points, about 10,045 points. So he's had the most amount of podium finishes in the series at the moment. I think it was Laura, but Laura's just dropped herself outside of that at the moment. So yeah, could be all good for him. He needs to pick up another AM-class victory and pick up some good points overall for the team as well.
Yeah, indeed. And well, we're going to see if Richard Gore can do that when he starts from pole position in race 2 of the evening. We'll be back here on Motors TV for race 2 right after this short break.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even. Give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Circuit Gilles Villeneuve here on BSR TV. It's the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship presented by Engine Oil Direct on Motors TV. Andrew Woodhouse with Adam Bath and Alex Simpson with you. Good to be here again. The first race, Alex, was very interesting, and Dan Hunt did win as expected from pole position, but he's got a long way to go, hasn't he, if he's going to win this one too?
Completely different race this will be. So he's got the pace. We've seen that in the last race. He's going to have to work his way through that pack. It's not easy, especially we saw a lot of little trains going on with everybody slipstreaming each other. Made overtaking very, very difficult. So yeah, totally different challenge for him this race. So going to be interesting to see how that plays out for sure. Some of the drivers, of course, that's going to play into their hand that have got a good reverse grid. They may well find that, you know, with all the battling that's going on behind them, they can stay towards the front. How often does Adam pick up the top 10 drivers at the start of the race statistic? Maybe this week will be one of the higher numbers. Who knows?
Something tells me, Adam, that there aren't going to be that many of the front 10, I would have thought, up there, but you never know. You can pass here at Montreal, and also we've got sunny conditions this time as well. That'll affect the cars, won't it?
I've got a feeling that this is going to be one of those races where the championship contenders battle their way through and almost end up at the front of the pack by the end. Let's run you through the starting grid. The second race of the evening on the pole position, it is Richard Gore. 25 cars were reversed. He's on pole position. Second on the grid, Steve Richardson. Even I can't tell you the last time he won a race. All the way back in probably season one. Steve Richardson won a race. Yeah, back at Mosport. So
he's got one victory. Yeah,
and then third on the grid, Daniel Kraft. Fourth, Colin Cunniff. Fifth, Jerome Kaiser. Sixth, Alex Smolensky. Some proven race winners in and around that bunch. Seventh, Kip Stevens. Eighth, Laura Bond. Ninth, Steve Walker. And in 10th, it is Steve Hefford. 11th, Jake Blackhall. 12th, Ben Palmer. 13th, Robert Plumley. 14th, Stephen Burke. 15th, Simon Field. 16th, Russell Laidler. 17th, Lee Thompson. 18th, Pete Newman. 19th, Wojciech Svidovic. 20th, Jamie Fluke. 21st, Jamie Rushworth. 22nd, David Baker. 23rd, Stelian Chepelewski. And 24th, Sebastian Joe. 25th, our race one winner, Dan Hunt. 26th, Andrew Whitehead. 27th, Scott Malcolm. 28th, Robert Graham. 29th, Paul Smith, and in 30th it is James Leggett. 31st, it is Linus Bostrom. 32nd, Eckhart von Glan. 33rd, Mark Johnston. 34th, Charles Sears. And in the cars that either didn't start the race or were disqualified, 36th is Stanimir Zuzov. 37th, it is John Roberts. And starting on the back of the grid, second place man in the championship, Andreas Katz. And I tell you what, Andrew, after this first race meeting of the evening, Andreas Katz's second place in the standings is coming under threat, only 30 points separating him and David Baker.
Yeah, and he's not in this race either, and I'm not sure what the problem is there, but he's going to slip down the championship. Alex, it seems like every week we're talking about the quality of this field, and Adam saying proven race winners, in the top 10 who finished in the reverse grid positions. It's becoming quite a normal thing, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think how often do we go on about the strength of depth in this series as well? And I think that reverse grid again today of 25 is rather large. I expect that we're going to see some of that talent and strength of depth in this race as well. We're going to see some great battles throughout this one.
Well, the race winner in race 2, last time we heard back in season 7, was indeed Kip Stevens. Kip Stevens starting about 7th place on the grid. I'm going to put him as my tip to win this second race of the evening.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely got pace around here. I'm going to go for... No, he's starting 17th though, Adam, in this one.
Oh, well, I'll withdraw that then.
I think you should. I'm going to go for probably Daniel Kraft.
I'll go for...
Who's starting 3rd?
I'll go for Alex Malensky, who's starting in 6th position.
What about you, Alex?
Oh dear, now you're asking. Because I don't know where anybody's starting either. I'm gonna say Richard. Here you go.
There we go. That's the easy one.
Green.
Richard Gore starts from pole position as the green light comes on here at Montreal.
Very quick change.
The second race of the day. Great start at the back from Paul Smith. Richardson slots into second place behind Gore, and Gore's lost it and he's gone wide, and Richardson into the lead, and Steve Walker going wide as well in the background. But we saw that in season 7 as well. I did the same thing. And guess who was
Kaiser's round.
Oh, Kaiser's round.
Track
That's going to be
blockage,
huge. Yeah.
surely.
No, we're fine.
No, we're good.
I think we're okay. Kaiser's
Caution call.
Kaiser's having to tour around, and there is a safety car.
Oh, everybody just checking up now, big time. So
Yeah, it was Kip Stevens. I tipped him to win the race, and there you go. A car was crabbing on the exit of the first chicane, and everyone was just queuing up behind him. And then, the race organisers throwing a caution. Second caution of the evening, and it comes in on lap number 1 in race 2.
just take a little look at that back. Actually, that's probably the worst camera angle we can find of it. See if we can get a slightly better one.
If there's someone to be hit, it's usually your own Kaiser, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
And sometimes it even affects him after the safety car's being called. And side by side with a Laser Tools car, and there you go, me jinxing it again. Alex Malensky would win this race, and then he gets involved with Jerome Kaiser. I apologise to everyone involved.
Alex, your pick didn't do a great start either. Richard Gore going in too hot. I was about to say before the safety car came out, I did exactly the same thing a couple of times in season 7, and it's such an easy corner. It's like a medium speed corner is turn 1. Very, very easy to just lose the car, get out of shape. And on that occasion, Adam, if you remember in race 3, when I made a bit of a mess of turn 1, Steve Richardson definitely didn't. And once again, he showed that a good, careful approach and took the lead.
Yeah, he knows how to get around the circuit, and he's pretty consistent despite only winning 1 race in the series. And as we've come around to complete the first lap under caution, unfortunately for him, with Dan Kraft now sitting right behind him, Dan Kraft, a race winner in this championship.
Kaiser's desperately trying, Adam, to get back to the pits, and he's, as a result, the several of the cars are quite a way back down the straight, as Kaiser's desperately trying to get that engine oil direct car back to the pits. But again, Alex, there aren't really any rules at this point, are there? You've just got to I guess he's trying to get it back to the pits and he can't really be overtaken.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only rule that's there, is you can't overtake under the yellow flag. So everybody's going to have to wait. He'll come into the box even once he passes the commitment cones. Then everybody's free to flow past. There's plenty of time to catch up the pack, mind you. Let's have a quick
He will
look.
get a fast tow as well, and get that car repaired this time. Everyone does get one chance, essentially.
They are 30 seconds behind, you know, though.
Yeah, they are.
So, I mean, it's going to be...
pace car's going around at 97 kilometres an hour.
So have a look.
The pace car's staying out.
Yeah, the lights are still on the pace car, so it's not like they're going to not catch up as well.
And Jerome has managed... He may get back onto the track, actually, in front of some of the other people in that queue. That's how quick the fast tow is.
Yeah, he's just coming out behind Smolensky. The two of them coming together on the first lap, and they're going to be restarting behind them.
And you've got to wonder why Smolensky hasn't pitted, don't you?
Because, yeah, look at the front of that car. It's an absolute mess.
You get a free pit stop behind the safety car, Alex. I'm bemused as to why you wouldn't take it.
No, yep.
With the car looking like that.
I'm lost as well.
I think he might
what
be
happened
as well.
What happened to John Roberts? Oh, John's just coming out of the pits now as well. And Laura's in the pits as well. Did we see what happened to Laura? Was she caught up in that incident?
Laura was caught up in it as well. Let me just...
it looks like she's had to actually have a tow as well, so she might go a lap down. The pace car now just coming down the back straight.
Laura will get out of the pit lane in time.
She's leaving now. Yeah, great.
She avoided everything. The caution got called, and what happened? She's just carrying on, everything fine. Yeah,
but she's really going to need to get on with it now because...
I think she might have blown an engine. Or a gearbox or something.
Safety cars in this lap, so Laura's probably still going to be half a minute behind, is she, when she gets... Can she catch up, do you think, Alex, in the time it takes?
I don't know.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be close.
She's effectively got to go do 2 laps in the time the safety car does one.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be tricky.
We've got another little mini race to see then, Laura Bond versus the pace car driver.
Yeah. Well, just think about, the GT1 and GT3 race on Tuesday night with that caution. Look at how long it took for everybody to catch the safety car up there, and that was just around Watkins Glen.
Good 1.5 laps.
I was nearly at full speed trying to catch that up.
Right, time for some stats then at the guys at the front of the pack. Steve Richardson, last win for him, Season 1 at Mosport. It's Daniel Kraft in second position. His last race victory was all the way back at Bathurst in Season 8 when he was driving for Pete New Media there. Colin Cunniff, he won recently at Laguna Seca just a few weeks ago. So he's sitting in third. Richard Gore, I think he's yet to take a race victory this season. And has he taken a race victory before in the championship? That's an even bigger question.
Who's that, sorry?
Richard Gore.
No, I don't believe he has.
So we could have a new race winner on our hands for Apex Racing TV. We had a new race winner in race 2 at Watkins Glen in the form of Jake Blackwell. We could have the same there. And Steve Walker, the last time he won a race, I believe, was Season 7, the opening race meeting of the season at Donington Park. So
now, Laura's in turn 2. She's not going to make it, is she?
No chance.
As the pace car is, and John Roberts isn't either.
It's not going to be far off, though.
Pace car's a hairpin. Where's the back of the pack? That's
the back of the train,
Kaiser, isn't it? Who's at the second chicane. You know what?
She's not going to be too.
Won't she? She'll
just do it.
Yeah,
she'll just do it.
Too far behind at all.
It all depends. Yeah, the safety cars.
John Roberts has got no chance. Although he's only another 6 or 7 seconds back. But
right, the safety car's about 2/3 of the way now down the back straight, and Laura Bond is now coming down towards second chicane. She will not make the green flag, I don't think. As the safety car's now coming into the pit lane, Andrew.
Yes, it will be in just a second. Yeah, Bond probably. No, she definitely won't catch the pack. But Steve Richardson will lead the pack through the final chicane, and he'll boot it now. A Power Max driver, and what a restart by Richardson. Excellent. He's really got a good jump there over Daniel Kraft. Then it's Colin Cunniff in third, fourth Richard Gore after that mistake on the first lap, and Richardson with a very tight line into turn 1.
Walker got a good start there as well. He's alongside Gore again, but Gore doesn't run too wide this time, although Walker has a little look up the inside, and it looks like Dan Kraft as well on Richardson going into the first of the chicanes.
Yeah, great.
Adam Richardson still leads as he manages to maintain that into that into turns 4 and 5.
Walker got great drive there, and he's looking down the inside, and so is Simon Field, all jumbling together here in the battle for fourth
Steve's
place.
going to be in trouble now
Yeah.
from Kraft, and he can't defend the inside because Kraft was already there, and he's going to try and get that Peter Newman media car through the chicane at the back of the course. Can he make it in time? Does he make the corner? Barely does. He may have even got a slowdown for that. I'm not sure.
Well,
No, it looks good.
Maybe an off track. But
look how this has allowed the pack to close up. They're all going all over the back of Steve
Cunniff.
Richardson. Down the inside goes Cunniff.
inside, Richardson saw him coming and potentially avoided an accident there, Alex.
Yeah, good driving. Just left in the room as we're just looking. I think that's Dan Hunt with some problems out there. Very slow off of the chicane. What happened there? Let's see if we can bring that back up, because I can't see him. There he is as well. He's got some reasons. He's back up to speed. So yeah, just some issues. Maybe we'll take a little look at that back on post race.
Oh, there's a pile up in the chicane, big one. Massive pile up there.
Oh no, yeah, and a caution has been thrown. Steve Walker, Simon Field on the inside of the final chicane. Steve Hefford involved as well. 2 cautions in a race. I think the last time we saw that was probably back at Indianapolis. So
It was the car who. It was Steve Hefford, wasn't it? Who was over on his side.
It all starts it all starts with Simon Field going down the inside of Steve Walker.
Sebastian Job was involved in that as well, Alex. He hit the car off Hefford as it was on its roof.
Yeah, I think Joe managed to keep it out of the wall as well.
Got horrible damage on the front of that car.
So something may. Oh yeah, definitely big time. Something major happened at the hairpin before that. Who was that? That was part and parcel of that at the start. Who was the root cause? The 2 cars that span. Trying to see
what's happened to Field, and I'm just going to have a quick look of what's happened to Field.
Yeah, Field was involved in the incident in the final chicane.
Oh, he's hit Walker, hasn't he?
That was what caused it.
He outbraked himself, hasn't he? And
the poor Leo Bodnar car of Hefford just had nowhere to go, really.
Well, Hefford is
and he gets
72,
by
isn't
the
he?
Apex car. Yeah.
Oh, right. So what happened was, he got hit up into the air, and then he hit the barrier at the Wall of Champions, bounced off the barrier, and right smack into Job, and Savidovic hits him. Baker hits. Oh, does Baker hit anyone? Possibly he did. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think he did.
Do you think?
So Savidovic, Baker, and Job all involved, and Field.
So basically, the podium from the first race.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to look to see if Savidovic has got any damage on
that's
his engine.
quite a bit on the front.
Does it look like it's crabbing? It's hard to tell under safety car.
It looks okay. And actually, somehow Seb's car looks in order as well. I don't really get how that is. That took a massive whack
Seb's
from the
car
front
looks like it's got horrible front damage on it though.
And the rear, but it still looks like it's driving straight.
No, I don't. Well, I don't think it is. I'll just have a quick look at that.
Let's jump on board and see if his wheels.
Looks okay.
No, he might be holding his wheel. I'm just looking at it now. Yeah, it looks like the onboard cam.
He just looks like to be fair.
He looks like he's holding it just a little bit to the right. Is he
going
come
into
in?
The pits?
Yeah, he is. He's coming in. He's going to get fast repair.
I think that's a good decision.
He can get himself. He's still got the potential with this. He's going to get quick repair, just select tyres. He might still get out relatively in the middle of the pack and potentially get a reverse grid for the next race.
Do we know what the ruling is on and where you come out of the pits, Alex?
Well, it's as you come past the cone, isn't it? I think.
So is that where you are in the relative to everyone else? Is it?
Yeah. So where is he going to be? He's 23rd at the moment. People are still.
Those people need to realise that they need to probably keep going a bit quicker than that to.
Oh, the pit lane's closed, so he's
got
having
to wait.
So, a nightmare for Sebastian. Thought that, but yeah, just the car's streaming through, so he's had to wait. So he will be at the back. 29th place he is now.
So Sebastian Job having to wait at the red light at the end of the pit lane here. Fortunately, Adam, he didn't have Lewis Hamilton behind him because he would have crashed into it.
Yeah, and Sebastian Joe. One thing that's not in Sebastian Joe's favour is that red light. Well, not only that red light, but these race twos, they just don't seem to be working out for him. He seems to have improved his form in race twos the last few race meetings, and he took a race two victory at Charlotte Road a few months ago. But it seems to rear its ugly head again, and he's going to be right at the back of this pack after taking a second place in race one. And if he's not too careful, he could face himself dropping back outside that top 10 in the points. He was only
His arch
100
nemesis
points
Cats.
away.
His arch nemesis Cats isn't even here, Adam. So can't definitely blame him this time.
Yeah. Well, we can see what the comeback's going to be like, of course, because he's not going to be too far away from the reverse grid placings when the race gets restarted in half a lap's time.
Where's he sitting? 29th.
29th. That's only 3 places away from a reverse grid. Who's he got to get past?
He'll make those up.
He's got to get past Alex Smolensky, Jerome Kaiser, and Laura Bond. And quick safety car period. 6 laps to go when we get to the line. Daniel Kraft leads, Steve Richardson second, Colin Cunniff third, Richard Gore fourth, Stephen Burke fifth, Lee Thompson sixth, Ben Palmer seventh, Pete Newman eighth, Russell Leder ninth, and Wojciech Savidovic rounds out the top 10. Will we be able to get a full green flag lap in this time around without seeing a safety car? Let's hope so. We don't want.
We had one last time, I think. Oh no, we didn't.
Let's hope this doesn't end up being like a World Touring Car race from a few years ago where the entire race was run under safety car. Here we go, Andrew.
More pacing than racing so far, but Daniel Kraft now takes the restart and he gets a good jump on Steve Richardson, who's ahead of Colin Cunniff and then Richard Gore, then Stephen Burke.
Great start from everybody. I think no issues this time. Everybody's just sort of funneling through. Looks
a couple of
good.
people were asleep on the restart. Alex as well. I think Chepolewski looked like he was one of them. He's miles behind Dan Hunt, and also Stevens is quite a way back there as well off the person in front.
Yeah, Chepolewski's got some damage on the front of that. I wonder if that's probably what's held him up. He didn't realise it was that bad. Who knows? We'll keep an eye on that because he's dropping a little bit further back as well.
Charles Sears in the wall, and that's been off.
That's one position for Joe.
Also, he's crashed with one of the Laser Tools cars and Zuzov as well. So Sears into what looks like
battle for
second.
Yep.
On glance,
Colin Cunniff side by side with Richardson. Richardson got a good exit there. Is he going to be able to hold it? Cunniff's got his nose ahead. He's got the inside line as well going into the hairpin. Gore's having a look at the same time. Late on the brakes for everyone.
In the background.
Going further
look
on
at this
as well.
from Richardson. He's trying to go around everyone.
And Richardson could be in a good position here. We could be going 3 wide down the back straight. Cunniff still side by side with Richardson.
Richardson got a great exit there. If he can tuck in behind the Leo Bond behind the friction car, he might have a chance.
I'm seeing something a bit further off. That's James Leggett. He just got himself spun at the hairpin as well. Let's jump back to that battle though.
Here we go into the final chicane.
Dropped down behind Johnston and through his Cunniff, and then Richard Gore is
Thompson
into
the
well.
pits. Thompson into the pits. I don't know what, he must have blown an engine or something because he's now in the pits.
Thompson pitting, still at 63 kilometres an hour, so
must have been a drive-through or something.
Yeah, it must have been. I don't think he's blown an engine there. Well, fortunately and unfortunately, anyway. So Kraft leads from Cunniff, Gore, then Richardson, then Burke.
And got a repair, so he must have picked up some damage.
Laidler is in 7th. He might be banking on another safety car, Lee Thompson. It's very possible that there could be one.
Whoa!
Hits the wall, I think, there. Stephen Burke. And then that's slowed up Laidler, and that's allowed Newman to get a close inspection of the rear of that GT Omega car. Baker's there, and Savidovic is there as well. Still with the damage, Wojciech Savidovic, from the incident where he ended up crashing into Sebastian Joe.
Stephen Burke's got a good run now through the right-hander. He seems to have regained his pace. Let's see if we can get past Ben Palmer. Palmer defending the inside line, but moves back onto the racing line. It's very hard to overtake into that chicane.
He gets attacked from behind.
Laidler had a look,
he turns him
hit Burke, and that was asking for trouble, to be honest. And these two are crashing all over the place, and it's getting a little bit serious now. Into the hairpin. Baker's on the outside. Burke going up the inside of Laidler. These two, it's becoming a bit personal now.
Burke trying to steer clear of Laidler. They're magnetising towards each other again as they head down the back straight. We could have another incident on our hands going into the final chicane if we're not too careful now as we head down the back straight. These two
are going to end up in 1,000 pieces, I think, as they go past the Olympic rowing lake on the left-hand side towards the last two corners. Laidler and Burke, who's going to yield? The answer is, well, no one really, but Burke manages to carry the speed, get past Laidler, but I don't think this one's over, Alex.
No, not at all. Great driving to get through there. It's pretty much the first time we've seen them, any two drivers get through there at speed as well, side by side.
Burke's gone wide at the first corner. He's going to go off, and he's going to hit. Laidler's going to hit him, and Laidler's hitting Newman now. And is he going to rear quarter panel him as they go down towards the next chicane? And I think Burke's going to slow down penalty. If he hasn't, he's got a very bad exit. And into the downhill turns 4 and 5, and Burke's around. And that was happening for a long time.
Well, I was about to say that.
And he's going to come. Oh, he's almost going to come back on in
and
front
I think
of Smith.
No, his rejoins fine.
Yeah, he's all right now.
Laidler's just rejoining.
Laidler's
got damage.
Yeah, Laidler struggling there on the wide line there.
Well, I was just about to say that Burke was doing his teammate a massive favour, but now he's now down to. He's dropped down to 19th place, and Newman now up into 6th.
Laidler's got steering damage, has he?
Yeah, I think he has. He's now down. The oars are now down in 16th position.
Yeah, so he can't. He's struggling to turn. Oh no, he's all right. I think he's all right. I think he had to slow down, and he was trying to get out of the way of a few people as well.
Dan Hunt up into 10th place as well. He's closing in on Kip Stevens as well, so he's having his charge through ahead of Kip is Wojciech as well. Wojciech's got some damage on the front of that, so
yeah, Hunt's the main benefactor, isn't he? Of all that.
Absolutely.
Well, Kip Stevens, the season 1 and 2 champion, now fighting with the season 6 champion of Wojciech Sabinovic and the current series leader. Kip Stevens to the inside line as they head down the back straight in towards the final chicane. Will Sabinovic put up a bit of a fight down the inside? He is putting up a bit of a fight. He goes round the outside of the Power Max car and maintains his 8th position for now. And Dan Hunt can now be closing in on Kip Stevens.
Sabinovic has got horrible damage on the front of that engine oil direct car, and Stevens has got much better straight line speed. And the man who won race 2 here last season, season 7, sorry, he's trying to go through again on Wojciech Sabinovic, and he can't quite do it this time. Hunt runs a little bit wide, and he might come under pressure from Jamie Fluke, the other Power Max car, with Rushworth behind Chepelevsky. So Power Max all gathering in this little group in the middle of the field. It's 3 seconds is the lead for Daniel Kraft. Ben Palmer just took Richardson at the chicane on the last lap, so Steve's down to 5th, Newman 6th, Baker 7th, Sabinovic 8th, and then Stevens in 9th with Hunt right up his rear wing.
Field and Job a little bit further back as well, just 0.2 of a second separate them. I think Job just put the move on Field there as well, so he's moved himself up to 20th place.
Well, there we were. We were saying before the safety car came back in whether he was going to be able to get inside the reverse grid places. He is now firmly inside as Stevens and Hunt now go side by side. The battle for 9th place is on as we head down towards the hairpin. 2.5 laps to go here in the second race of the evening. Stevens holding the inside line. Hunt is going to try and find a way around the outside. He just can't, and they could be right with Sabinovic. Sabinovic takes a bit of an unconventional line there through the hairpin, runs out a bit wide, and that allows Stevens and Hunt to close in on him now as they head down the back straight once again.
The engine oil direct driver did get a good exit though, Adam, due to that slightly wider line through the corner, better exit. But Stevens is now looking on the inside, and he's got better straight line speed. Ooh. And he's going for it. No, he doesn't manage it. And Dan Hunt he tries to follow him through, and he can't quite do it. But now Jamie Fluke is the latest man to go to the left and try to pass down the pit straight now into turn 1. Hunt's very late on the brakes. Is he going to make it into turn 1? He does, and that means that Fluke's going to have to remain in 11th position.
Kraft puts the fastest lap of the racing as well, so he's flying out there 3.2 seconds ahead of Colin Cunniff with just 2 laps to go on this race.
Baker's just set a new fastest lap, Alex, as well, 1:42.8, and that's just ahead of this group in 7th position.
David Baker right on the back now of Pete Newman in 6th place, able to get that 6th place after Stephen Burke and Russell Laidler came to blows a few laps ago. Baker 1:42.816 is saying Andrew. Pete Newman 1:43.0, so 0.2 of a second slower last time around. Baker might just have that little bit of tyres left. Of course, it's all about the brakes here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Let's see what Baker can do as they head down towards the hairpin. A bit too far behind really to mount anything. In the background though, that battle with Savidovic and Stevens still hotting up as well as we're coming around to start the final lap.
The track temperature is 41 degrees, so those front tyres are going to be not in great shape. I think the safety cars will have definitely helped, but yeah, it's not going to be great for these guys. They're going to be suffering with understeer as Richardson now is going to have to defend quite hard, you would think, from Pete Newman into the chicane. Can he do it at the end of this straight, Newman, or is he going to have to wait for the pitch straight in order to try and get past the Power Max driver? Richardson's line was a bit weird through the chicane.
Newman's got to slow down.
Newman's got to slow down as a result of trying to avoid the Power Max driver. And Alex, that was a curious piece of action there.
Yeah, I think Newman desperate to serve that as well. He's got Wojciech coming up. I think he has just in time as well, so doesn't lose too many places. Baker finds himself in his token 6th place. Oh,
yes.
That might become 5th as Richardson got really poor exit.
Sorry, Stevens and Hunt coming to blows at turn 2.
Well, Baker had the opportunity to get down the inside, thought better of it to get past Steve Richardson. Richardson's been putting a good defence so far this race. He just positions his car on the inside line and everyone seems to be falling over themselves trying to get past him here on the final lap of the race. Savidovic close to Pete Newman, however I don't think he's close enough to mount a challenge down this quick straight. However, Hunt and Stevens, that is a really close battle, and Hunt might be getting alongside the Power Max car here as we head down the straight towards the chicane. He's in the slipstream of the Power Max car. At the same time, Richardson still holding on to his 5th position. We could have a few changes for position here in the final few corners, Andrew.
Yeah, it won't be for the lead though, I wouldn't think. Daniel Craft comes out of the hairpin and he starts the long drag up towards the final corner. We'll get back to him in just a second. We'll just see if Baker can't make a move at the hairpin. I think he might be settling for that 6th. I told you he likes it. And Daniel Craft, who has driven a really, really good race, he got into the lead after the
really close to
restart.
To Kip, sorry there, Andrew. That is 1/10 of a second separating him. If there's going to be a move, that's where it's going to happen. Your own Kaiser just got disqualified on the last lap. Here comes Craft.
Yeah, Dan Craft's going to win as he weaves his way towards the finish line. He takes the checkered flag. We'll just have a quick look at that. Stevens and Hunt runs into the wall on the final corner, trying to get past Stevens desperately, but he can't do it. Stevens is going to take 9th, Hunt in 10th, Chepelevsky just behind him, and Rushworth, Luke, and then Graham. Good result for Graham, actually 13th from 28th on the grid. That's a good performance from the Laser Tools man. Paul Smith, James Nash, Sebastian Job, 16th in the end, Adam.
Yeah, something happens to Jamie Fluker as well. He's dropped it down the order. He finished in 19th position, so a few changes down the last lap. Sebastian Job to 16th place, as you're saying, on the last lap of the race, managed to get a few positions there after restarting in 29th place. Great job from him, and he's firmly inside. Well, almost on the outside, on the positive side of the reversed grid draw. Let's run you through the finishing order then. From a chaotic second race of the evening, 2 safety car periods. Daniel Craft takes his first race victory of the season, his first win since Bathurst back in season 8. Second for Colin Cunniff, third for Ben Palmer, Richard Gore in 4th, and Steve Richardson, a fantastic top 5 from him. 6th for David Baker, another 6th place. 7th for Pete Newman, 8th Wojciech Savidovic, 9th Kip Stevens, and in 10th Dan Hunt. 11th for Stelian Chepelevsky, Jamie Rushworth in 12th, Robert Graham 13th, Paul Smith 14th, James Nash 15th, Sebastian Job 16th, Linus Bostrom 17th, Simon Field 18th, 19th Jamie Fluke, 20th Alex Malensky, 21st Laura Bond, 22nd Andrew Whitehead, 23rd Stephen Burke, 24th Lee Thompson, 25th James Leggett, 26th Russell Laidler, 27th Steve Heppard, 28th Scott Malcolm, 29th Charlie Sears, and in the cars 1 lap down or more, 30th Sharon Kaiser, 31st Mark Johnston, 32nd Stanimir Zuzov, 33rd Eckhart von Glan, 34th Robert Plumley, 35th John Roberts, 36th Steve Walker, and 37th it is Jake Blackhall. Now, my favourite stat, as we were saying before the race started, the cars that started inside the top 10 that finished inside the top 10. Well, I can tell you that
well, actually 4 out of the top 5 managed it.
Yeah, so that's not actually that bad.
Nobody else did.
Yeah, that's actually quite good. However,
everyone else crashed into each other, I believe, though.
Yeah, Jerome Kaiser started 5th, finished 30th. Smolensky started 6th, 20th. Laura Bond started 7th, 21st. Steve Walker started 8th, 36th. Steve Pepper started 9th, 27th, and Jake Blackhall, who started in 10th, 37th. So the cars that started in the lower half of the top 10 obviously got involved in that contact on that number 1.
Tell you what, it wasn't bad in the end, was it, for Laura Bond, 21st? Considering she started about 10-15 seconds behind the pack, Alex, of the first safety car.
Yeah, it was 10 seconds as well. So that second safety car actually a bit of a blessing, really. She was able just to catch back up and avoid all the carnage that caused it as well. So yeah, good result in the end.
Good race from James Nash, Alex, as well. 33rd he started, 15th he finished.
Yeah, good result. He'll need that as well after that last race. He's definitely been in the wars the last few weeks, so needs some good solid finish. Hopefully we can throw a good roll or spin the wheel, shall we say, this time and get him somewhere towards the front, because definitely needs a little boost at the moment.
Yeah, Leeds and Doncaster might be heading for penalties in a bit as well, so that'll need. I mean, I might need a bit of a boost in a bit as well. But yes, will Sebastian Job be on pole position? And this is what we have to find out, Alex. You've got the magic wheel there, and it wasn't so magic for Jake Blackhall last time, but he's not involved this time in the reverse grid standings, so to speak. So it is James Nash, Sebastian Job, Linus Broström, Simon Field, Jamie Fluke, Alex Smolensky, Laura Bond, Andrew Whitehead, Steve Burke, Lee Thompson, James Leggett, and Russell Laidler.
Wheel of Fortune time.
Yeah, let's do it. Who's gonna get it? 23rd, 19th, no, 21st. Oh, it's goes down 21st for sure. Yes, it is.
Laura Bond goes on to pole position. Could this be the final, the time where she takes her first victory in the series? Second on the grid will be her former teammate Alex Smolensky, Jamie Fluke in 3rd, Simon Field in 4th, and Linus Bostrom in 5th, with Sebastian Job in 6th place.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a chance for Laura. I mean, the Wheel of Fortune was definitely shining for her.
Oh, interesting.
So there you go. You'll have to tune into race 3 to find out whether she can take her first win in the BSRTC. Or will it be another one for the championship contenders? Well, we'll have to find out, as the third race will be starting very, very shortly right here on BSR TV and Motors TV and Apex Racing TV and wherever we are. I just made a right mess of that. Adam, you might as well just send us out, because I can't be bothered doing that again.
Oh, well, let me just compose myself. Right, join us after the break here on Apex Racing TV and Motors TV for the final race of the evening. It's sure to be another classic here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside, contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
Welcome back to Motors TV for round 57 of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship, presented by Engine Oil Direct and powered by iRacing.com. My name is Andrew Woodhouse, alongside iRacing World Championship driver Alex Simpson and Adam Bath. And Adam, we're back in the overcast conditions for race 3 after the clouds parted for race 2. It's going to make this start very tricky again, isn't it? Especially with the reverse grid. Yeah,
drivers just getting adjusted to driving in the sunny conditions, and now they're going to have to be careful once again when the lights go green going into that first corner. We already saw a lot of action the last time we had overcast conditions, with Chepelevsky and Joe going onto the grass right from the get-go. So with a reverse grid, fewer knowns at the front of the pack, it's just going to be just as chaotic. Let's run you through the starting grid then for the third and final race of the evening. And I've got the wrong starting grid in front of me. There we go, that's the right one. 21 cars were reversed, and that means that Laura Bond is on pole position with Alex Smolensky alongside her third. It is Jamie Fluke with Simon Field in fourth. Then it's Bostrom in fifth with Sebastian Jove in sixth, James Nash in seventh, Paul Smith in 8th, Robert Graham in 9th, Jamie Rushworth in 10th, Stelin Chepelevsky 11th, Daniel Hunt 12th, Kip Stevens 13th, Wojciech Svidovic 14th, 15th Pete Newman, 16th David Baker, 17th Steve Richardson, 18th Richard Gore, 19th Ben Palmer, 20th Colin Cunniff, and then 21st is our race 2 winner Daniel Kraft, 23rd Stephen Burke, 24th Lee Thompson, 25th James Leggett, 26th Russell Laidler, 27th Steve Hefford, 28th Scott Malcolm, 29th Charles Sears, 30th Jerome Kaiser, 31st Mark Johnston, 32nd Stanimir Zuzov, 33rd Eckhart von Glan, 34th Robert Plumley, 35th John Roberts, 36th Steve Walker, and then at the back of the grid it is Jake Blackhall. Can we see 2 cautions again in this third and final race of the evening?
Well, hopefully not, but will we see a rare triple victory in one meeting for people called Daniel?
Well, I think that's a stat that's eluded me. I don't think we've ever had that before in the championship. Well, that'll be certainly something to keep an eye out for. Personally, I think in this third and final race of the evening, we've got quite a few interesting guys at the front of the pack. Alex Smolensky starting in second. He won race 3 at Okayama a few race meetings ago.
Won several races in his career now. I think he's won about 10 victories and he's one of the winningest drivers. Alex Simpson, I'll bring you in. We're not ignoring you there, mate. Laura Bond starting on pole position thanks to the Wheel of Fortune. What chance has she got of taking her first win in her career?
It's going to be tough. She's got some strong competition behind her, but we've seen that, you know, if we can get a caution or 2 or something like that, and there's something that's going on behind her and she can hold on to those places, maybe those guys can fight and battle. She might have a chance, who knows. I definitely feel that
showing good pace here again.
Well, they have got a really good car, and I feel that she will get a strong result regardless of what happens. But
she still needs that first podium
as
well, actually.
Yeah, I remember Virginia, Alex, when I think she was in a podium position there, battling with
Lopez took her out.
Yeah, Lopez, and then they both ended up.
Well, they both took each other out.
Yeah, both of them off, and on the final lap of the race, allowing Simon Field to go through and take the victory there. So she's come close in the past. I remember having a photo finish with Russell Laidler at Silverstone a few seasons ago. It's surely only a matter of time. She's starting on the pole position for this final race, and that's the best chance anybody needs to get a podium, if not a win.
Yeah, that's it. The only female driver in the field. But, you know, definitely a strong contender, especially for the AM Championship as well. And Alex, there's still quite a big prize up for grabs in that category as well.
Yeah, exactly. And she's leading the way in that again, now that she's got herself back in there. Just have a very quick look at the points. She's effectively starting the showdown with 6 points ahead of Richard Gore now. So, yes, very close going to be there. So I think her, Gore, Paul Smith, John Roberts, it's going to be so close.
So we are only about 15 seconds away then until the revs start to rise here in Montreal for the third time tonight. Laura Bond starting alongside her former teammate Alex Smolensky, with Jamie Fluke behind and Simon Field in fourth, Linus Brostrom in fifth. And let's see now then. 37 Kia Optimas.
Green.
I'm going to charge down to turn 1 now. As the green light comes on, And it's a very good start for Alex Smolensky. Can he get through? And Laura Bond and Jamie Fluke are going to hit each other, and there's a collision with Field, but they survive just about. Bond's turned around by Sebastian Job there. And it's contact with Rushworth. Rushworth's in the wall.
Blocking the track. That's going to be a safety car for sure. No safety car thrown. Daniel Kraft. Yeah, safety car thrown. Daniel Kraft and Jamie Rushworth. In the end, really, everyone was just able to get around it. However, for a brief moment, we had almost a complete track blockage. Poor Jamie Rushworth still getting flipped over, and I think he might have just got disqualified there. Him getting his full incident limit in. Oh no, he's back again.
He's dropping. His connection is dropping in and out, and I think that's why. I'm not sure who that was. I think it was Andrew Whitehead. Drove straight through him because you just didn't see him there, and all of a sudden he appeared in front of him. It was like, ta-da!
It all kind of started with
Whitehead got a lot of damage from that, actually, just in front of his car. So yeah.
It all kind of started, Alex, with a bad start for Laura Bond, which allowed her teammate Jamie Fluke to try and come through on the inside. Was it a bit ambitious from the Irishman there to try to make it 3 wide in turn 1?
I'm just going to have a little look at it back. If we don't know, not quite gone far enough back. Let's go a little bit further.
Yeah, Russia was having serious connection issues there.
Yeah, I guess the car is always going to be pretty slippy, isn't it, on the first lap? And going in against your teammate, is that a bit? I mean, that's something. I might not have done that, but again, I'm not as good as these guys.
It does put a lot of pressure on Laura there. Whitehead actually got involved in something else. I think that was with Laidler, maybe, or it could have been Leggett as well. So he actually had damage before that incident with Jamie as well. So yeah, there's lots going on there. I think that's just really a case of cold tyres.
Well, Rushworth gets turned around by Chepelevsky, and I think really Jamie's dodgy connection helped save us from having a huge track blockage because a few cars were able to go through him there.
Yeah, that's if we can see this as well. So yeah, you're right. Chepelevsky just got on the inside of him there, and that's what sent Rushworth around. And
fourth safety car of the evening.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And
don't think we've ever had one out on every single race of the night.
Yeah, that's the first time that's happened.
I think it's been a while since we've had such a messy evening of racing. I must admit, in terms of start incidents and first lap incidents, I think generally once the racing has got going, it's been fairly good and fairly clean. I just think that the starts,
just the nature of
it's tough on this track. Yeah, we see it in Formula 1. We saw it in season 7 as well. So easy to mess up the first couple of corners, Adam.
Well, we were saying at the top of the broadcast, this is a wide race track, but it doesn't seem to be wide enough to fit a few Kia Optimas through it. Tell you what, though, it's very tasty at the front of the pack. That front four: Smolensky, Field, Fluke, newcomer really to the top of the field, but he's a proven driver at the moment, and Sebastian Job in 4th. Very interesting indeed.
Luke's definitely one of the form drivers, isn't he, Adam? He's came into the series only a few weeks ago, and he's already established himself as one of probably the top 10 drivers. And it's a shame he's joined so late, because I think, if he'd have done the whole season, Alex, I think he would have been with a chance of getting into the top 10, definitely.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm just having a look at drivers that have had a pit. So James Leggett, Svidovic, Plumley, Kraft, Whitehead, Rushworth, who's actually not on the track at the moment, so big problems for Rushworth, and Eckhart von Glan. So maybe Rushworth has had his instant limit all in one foul swoop there, although no, he's reappeared, so just he's really struggling with his connection out there, and I think that's what's making him disappear off the screen. He's trying to catch the pack up right now.
We saw he was on a 3G modem a few weeks ago, Adam, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And I wonder if it's reared its ugly head again.
Quite possibly, yeah. He was just really struggling around there. I thought he was disqualified after his incident, but he just seems to be coming back in and back out. Linus Bostrom sitting in 5th. A stat for you: the last time he won a race, all the way back in season 4. He was part of the team that won the teams championship, Movie Go, back then, and he won
was he 4th in the drivers' championship? I think 1 year as well, 1 season.
Yeah. I think it might be back in season 6 of the Lugnut Century.
I think it was the first season we started.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
Yeah, season
Season
5
six.
and 6 was strong for him, I think.
Yeah, and season 4 as well, when he was part of the team that won the championship with Jamie Rushworth. He took 2 race victories that season, one at Lime Rock Park and one at Brands Hatch GP. So,
And of course, for some context, Adam, as well, the season was a lot shorter back then, wasn't it?
yeah, back then we only had, well, it seems short, we only had 30 races back in season 4, and in season 6 we had 30 races as well. This time we got 90 or so, and in some cases, and I think if we include the team races as well, we could almost have 100 races. So yeah, a lot more races and a lot more chances of having different race winners. 17 different race winners this season. Could we add to it this time around with someone like Jamie Fluke or Linus Bostrom?
I must admit, it's not been the best race meeting tonight, Alex, but we could still have a great finish to race 3.
Well, yeah, there has been some incidents that's brought the safety car out, but generally I think the racing's been a lot of fun out there as well. I mean, yeah, it's been there's been some great battles throughout the field, so I think the pace car's going to come in this time. We're going to have a 10-lap shootout for the final race of the night. Tyres are all up to pressure. It's cold track generally, so a lot of grip out there for everybody, so should be some good hard fighting for those last 10 laps. It's going to be fun.
Looks like, Adam, that Job has got away largely without any damage from a little collision he had with Laura Bond. Laura looks like she's got a bit of damage, but she's not going to pit in. She's going to stay in P6. Just ahead of Paul Smith, actually. Smith had a reasonable start from 8th on the grid to 7th. With John Roberts having quite a few issues tonight, it's a good chance for Smith, isn't it, to make up a lot of points in the AM category?
Yeah, only 9 points separating them going into this race, this third race of the evening. So we could have a change there in the lead in the Pro-Am standings. Well, Alex Smolensky is going to lead them to green, and usually drama always seems to follow him. Simon Field in 2nd, Jamie Fluke in 4th, Job in 4th, and Bostrom in 5th as we come to the green, Andrew.
Yes,
He's checked up.
Backing them up, he's backing them up. Now he goes.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag is out here as the safety car pulls in at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, and Alexander Smolensky leads into the first corner. Second is Simon Field, and then it's Sebastian Job. He's trying to go side by side with Jamie Fluke. I think there might have been a tiny bit of contact as they went through turn 2. That very tight right-hander, and everyone's behaving themselves.
Oh, there's a little bit of contact. That's Laidlaw.
Oh, Smolensky's wide. Sorry, Alex. Smolensky's gone wide, and now Field's side by side with him.
Yeah, the battle for the lead raging as Smolensky trying to defend from Simon Field. We saw Field try and pull a move at this part of the circuit on I can't remember who it was earlier on, but then Fluke's in 3rd. 4th at the moment is Sebastian Job. Alex started 6th and took advantage of the incident with Bond to move up a couple of spots, and he's got to find a way past Jamie Fluke soon, you feel, if he has to win this race, because Field's showing great pace tonight.
Yeah, Field very, very quickly. Fluke no slouch, so it's not going to be easy for Seb out there as well, as it's very aggressive defending. Smolensky had to brake late on the inside. Does a great job there, and Field just gets run out a little bit wide. It's going to compromise his exit, and surely Jamie's going to have a good run on him.
I think Job may have hit the wall there, Adam.
We've got some side-by-side as well with Richard Gore and who is that? Sorry, Dave Baker. Yeah, Baker.
Smolensky's being very ragged as well in his defence. We saw him taking some very wild lines there. Oh, forcing Field out wide. That's perfectly legitimate. Field running a bit too much over the curbs though. Here comes Jamie Fluke to take 2nd place, and who knows, he could even get the lead. Smolensky not quick out of the final chicane as well as they come across the line. Jamie Fluke down the inside, Sebastian Job watching as well, trying to get involved. 2 by 2 they go through the first corner. Simon Field has been epic on the outside all through tonight, and now he's back into 2nd place.
Job's through
with Job through as well, yeah.
Well, he's through for the moment. Fluke's got the momentum and the outside line. You can't fit 2 Kia Optimus through there though, and Fluke very sensibly decides that he agrees with me on that.
Round! But he holds on.
Survives it.
It's almost like what you did, Andrew, at that corner almost the last time we were here.
Except I didn't get any help. I did that all on my own.
And Field's through.
Oh, and Job is coming through, and Smolensky is trying to make his mind up of which way to defend Alex, but he can't defend from anyone.
No, he's just had cars all around him. He just needs to plant it in the middle and hope for the best.
He's going to turn in here, so this is going to be interesting. Oh!
That's
Contact with Joe.
That's to be expected, really. And
I thought it was actually quite good defending from Smolenski, Alex. I don't know about you. It's good, forceful stuff, but it wasn't really... Didn't cross the line. Oh, no, Brostrom! All the way around the outside for Engine Direct on Jamie Fluke. He's trying to go through the Swedish driver.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to get a good run. Both cars are going to get the slipstream of Job out there as well, up that straight. So,
well, Fields away. He's already got about a 1 second or so advantage over the rest of them as they come down the straight into the final chicane. And push him into the back of Fluke. Yeah, a little bit of a tap
surely
there.
that's going to be a slowdown penalty for Fluke. He took so much curb. He comes over. He'll be so annoyed with that as well. He got that little bump from behind.
Job's having a look at Smolenski now, Alex. Yeah, and he's through.
Yeah, Smolenski tried to hold it around the outside, but Job was so late on the brakes there, and there's a good battle going on further back as well.
Chepelevsky, yeah.
Yeah, Chepelevsky and Robert Graham, that is. Dan Hunt's got in the mix there as well.
It's all getting very tight in there, and one of the Laser Tools cars just hitting the wall there slightly.
Yeah, Robert Graham battling away with Daniel Hunt. Last time Simon Field took a race victory was back in race 2 at Mid-Ohio. He's won 3 races so far.
Sorry, Adam. Brostrom went very wide, and that's allowed Laura Bond to close in on him. The Powermax driver with the Engine Direct car now towards the second chicane at the back of the course. And Brostrom, or Laura Bond, very nice and tidy through there. She's got a great run. Can she make a move towards the hairpin, Alex?
Yeah, maybe. It's got, like you say, great run. Just Brostrom had a good run as well. Just looks like they're going to be pretty much as they are. There's a little battle going on behind. That's Hunt around the outside of Rob Graham. That is.
I think that's Graham trying to take Daniel Hunt. It looks like, and no, it is Hunt actually trying to make the move. Graham was ahead of him on the last lap, and also Chepelevsky's dropped off that battle slightly. I wonder if there's a bit of contact throughout the lap, Adam.
Yeah, Chepelevsky is still in 8th place. However, he's quite far behind. I'll tell you what, though, Sebastian Job is closing in at a fair rate of knots. He is bright green and it's in fact purple. Contact! Bond is off and she is into the pits. Another pole position in race 3 for Laura Bond, and somehow it all seems to go awry, and now she's back in the pits.
Oh, balloon engine downshifting too quickly, Alex, and very easy to do in this Kia Optima.
Yeah, I'm just going to jump on board actually, and just so we can see that, because she's just trying to be late on the brakes or something there. I'm not sure. So we can hear it.
Maybe just one downshift too many. It's very easy to even lose concentration as well.
She was back on the gas. And it went. It wasn't like it was, she just obviously must have abused it a little bit too much on the downshifting. But it didn't actually pop. Then it was when she got back on the gas.
That's what happened to someone a few weeks ago, isn't it? At Lime Rock Park, if you remember, Alex. Something happened similarly.
Basil for the lead. And Job is through.
There, Sebastian Job takes Simon Field. And it took me by surprise. I know that. Came out of nowhere, they did Sebastian Job to take
Fields coming back.
Simon Fields not giving up. He's had great pace all the way through the evening tonight.
And Dan Hunt in the background as well. Hunt looking on Brostrom round the outside. He's already done one move round there tonight in this race as well. Brostrom just pushes him out a little wide. That's
another contact there.
Perfectly legit, and I have to say I would do the same thing. That just ruins Hunt's run there as well.
Here we go, down
the little block pass there. Sorry, Adam.
Yeah, here we go, down into the final chicane. Job has been moving across a little bit down the back straight. Summerfield not close enough to try and do that outside manoeuvre like he did in the first race. However, Sebastian Job's going to be at disadvantage on the exit. Fantastic run by Field.
He'd set that up absolutely perfectly as well. You could see we were on board. He lifted out of it so that he made sure he had a really good exit. Somehow Job has managed to stay ahead of him though, and late on the brakes into turn 1. That's probably given the gap. Hunt and Brostrom, a little touch, but Hunt is through this time.
And Chepelevsky getting involved, Bulgarian getting a little excited by that action in front of it.
Yes, Brostrom doing a fantastic job in 5th, Chepelevsky 6th, Fluke 7th, Nash 8th, Smith 9th, and Robert Graham holding off David Baker in 10th as well. Another battle pack unfolding here with the Simpson racing cars all chasing this Laser Tools car with Richard Gore 13th, Efford 14th, and Kip Stevens in 15th position.
Look at this battle for 18th, Alex, as well, if we can quickly. It's Richardson, Laidler, Cunniff, Thompson, Savinovic, Walker, and there's contact there. I can hear it.
Hit. Savinovic hit by Walker, and Savinovic has got damage, and that's Savinovic's.
Oh, that's toast.
That's race over for him.
Yeah, and that's well.
That's not looking great, is it?
He'll try and
battle for the
still
lead.
in front of Walker as well.
Battle for the lead. Sorry, well, that's happening. Simon Field and Sebastian Job are still and now side by side. Whoa! Simon Field. Oh, that's very close.
Sabinovic is over. He's in the wall. He's on his side. Sorry, Adam. He was trying to stay in front of Steve Walker, and he was doing his best Tove Lindeen impression of skating along the racetrack, but then he did hit the wall.
Simon Field takes so much curb through the exit. I'm worried he's going to get a slowdown penalty, but he's right with the Apex Racing TV car. Job just cannot shake him off into the first corner. Job goes in very deep every single lap. He's done that, and that allows Field to close in on him on the exit.
He's very late on the brakes there, Alex. Sebastian Job in general. Is it partly the experience of the World Championships at the Williams? Does that teach you to be sort of very good with your braking technique?
I think he's just going in a bit deeper because he doesn't want to give Field the opportunity to sneak his nose up the inside in the braking zone. Just only takes a little tap and it's going to make him a little bit loose, and Field's going to grab that position. So he's being sort of overly aggressive in there. He knows he's going to concede a bit of time on the exit, but it just keeps his nose well and truly ahead. So it's going to be a great battle between them. Smolenski's coming as well.
Field's very quick tonight, though, Adam. He's been the quickest man pretty much in all three races.
Last time around he lapped just as quick as Sebastian Job. Alex Smolenski lapped quicker than them both, though. Fastest lap out of anyone. Simon Field just poking his nose to the inside, just a little bit of a look. However, Field always seems to get a great run out of the hairpin, and he's got just another great run once again as we head down the straight. Bostrom and Fluke battling. Bostrom still remains in his 5th position, but as we head down the straight, we're going to get 3 laps to go at the line. Field goes to the outside. Sebastian Job defends the inside, and once again, we'll see if Simon Field can get a good run through the final chicane and set up the World Championship driver.
Yeah, can he do it? Is it similar, Adam, to what Marc Marquez was doing at Indianapolis? Just sat behind Lorenzo and trying to wait for the best moment to make the pass. Does he know he's got more pace than the Apex Racing TV man?
Could very well be. Simon Field's been right in the wheel tracks of Sebastian Job, and he nudges him through the first corner. And I think that really shows you there he's got intentions of taking his fourth race victory of the season as they head through this third chicane again. Runs a bit wide. He might have just scraped the wall there just a little bit. Smolenski's coming though. He laps quicker than them both last time around.
Yeah, Alex, is he going to get there quick enough, Smolenski, to challenge? I think he's just on the verge, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so. I have to say, there's a great battle going on as well. We just need to switch to it. That's between Dan Hunt, Lee Thompson. Hunt just got up past Thompson. They're still stuck behind Steve Richardson. So that little
it's Kraft, Alex. It's Kraft. Kraft's going for the inside line, and the Dan Kraft takes Steve Richardson. So excellent move by the Peter Newman media driver.
Yeah, he needed that. He needed to get by Richardson. The rest of the pack that sort of got through was disappearing.
Job's wide at the hairpin.
And this has given Simon Field such a good run. This might be the lap. Who knows? He might still be biding his time as we head down this straight towards the final chicane.
I think he's got to give him a go this time, Adam. To be honest,
Job,
see if he can pull away. Might give him another chance.
Bum drafting towards the final chicane.
Not quite.
Good run by Field. Nearly into the wall of champions. They've dropped Smolenski a little bit, and as we come to 2 to go, Job just hangs on once again for another lap.
Where's Field going to make the move, Alex? Where's his best chance, having watched it? It looks like maybe the hairpin.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen that now a few times, and it just doesn't seem to be able to pull alongside. Other drivers all night have been able to do that, so I wonder if Field is just carrying a little bit more wing on the back of his Kia there, and it's perhaps just hurting his opportunity to get alongside. He's been trying to time that exit off through the chicane, but
he's so fast.
Yeah,
in
it
the
just doesn't
corners.
seem to work. But I think you're right. The hairpin. He needs something a bit different. He needs to surprise Seb somewhere. So he's
Oh, he
alongside.
might get a slow down for that. That was very marginal. I got
okay.
one earlier on in the week.
He's been
in
marginal
practice,
all race.
But now he's got a fantastic run, and this is where he's been really strong. This final chicane on the back section. If he can follow Job closely enough, he can set up the youngster for a pass into the hairpin.
Oh, I don't think he's close enough, but Job defends goes straight to the inside there, trying to disturb the slipstream of the Pete New Immediate car into the hairpin, just not close enough. But this is always on the exit. This is where Simon Field is at his best, and he's able to close up on the Apex Racing cars. Once again, Sebastian Job runs wide. However, I think for the first time in a while, Simon Field just isn't as close as he was a lap ago.
Job knows the pressure, Alex, of having drivers constantly very close to him in the World Championship as well. He knows how lap after lap to place his car where he needs to. He's going to need to do that now, isn't he, as he approaches the final lap?
Yeah, once again, Phil just cannot get enough of a momentum to get by into the chicane.
But he's very good in that
He
final
is
corner.
very, very quick there, and I think you're right. It's either going to be the hairpin or turn one's going to be the best opportunity.
Just need to have a lunge.
Once again, Seb's carrying a lot of speed. He's going to have to do it in this final lap. Just looking at the lap times there, absolutely nothing between them there. All three drivers, just 300ths of a second.
He's kept his tyres in better state as well than Sebastian Job. Simon Field, can he take what will be another win? I think that'll be 6th win of the season,
Oh,
Adam.
definite slowdown. I think that's the end of the battle for Simon
No,
Field.
it's not. He's alright. I don't think there's a problem there at all.
Oof,
He's got away with one.
my margin's right there.
And so did Seb, to be honest. I think Seb was a bit close to one as well. Field takes a great line, Alex, using that curb like a tram line to just pull that gear Optima round.
Yeah, absolutely anything you can do right now to get a run. It's close. Seb's covering the inside off a little bit. This is where it's gonna count. Field needs to get a really good run through here. He's as close as he's ever been. Surely this time Seb's gonna have to defend the inside. That could open up the chicane to him.
He's got to have a lunge. He has to have a lunge now, Alex. Into the hairpin. Is it going to be the time? No, it's not. I'm amazed by that, but he's got a great run out of the corner. Job was very slow as he nearly hits the wall there. And Field is alongside now. There is an overlap.
There is an
Down
overlap.
the back straight, through the right-hand kink.
Now's going to be the test for Sebastian Job. We saw Simon Field get a pass done on the outside of the chicane. Here we go, down to the final chicane. Simon
Death
Field
or
has got the
glory
inside
now.
line, I think, but Job's later on the brakes.
Job comes around the outside. He's cut the course. He's cut
Slow
the
down.
course. He's going to get disqualified if he doesn't serve this penalty.
Simon
and
Field's
Simon
gonna take
Field
his
is going to
6th
win
win.
the race.
His 6th win of the championship, and it comes in no more dramatic fashion than that.
Pressure pays off.
Will Job have served his penalty in time? I think he did. 3rd place for Sebastian Job, and well, I knew something was going to happen on that final lap, and I didn't expect
look
it to
at
be as
this.
dramatic as that.
Chepelevsky coming across, then Nash. Good result for Nash in 7th. Then it's Brostrom, Baker, Graham, Gore, Stevens, Palmer, Smith, Hefford and Burke. And goodness me, Laidler all the way down. Actually, I believe Laidler may have been... Oh no, he did finish the race, but I think he's had some severe contact.
It's a great little battle going on here. This 23rd, Kaiser, Whitehead, Leggett, Rushworth, all going to come across separated by a couple of tenths of a second. But wow, what a great finish. I think in the end, that Field won that race in that second chicane before the hairpin there. Such a great exit through there. He was allowed to get alongside. That made Seb a little bit tight on the entry there and pushed him a little bit further wider than he has been, and he just unable to get his nose alongside. You saw Seb try and get across to cover it on the inside. He just couldn't without forcing Field off. In the end, he had to give him the room, and that was it. Field's been so good through that final chicane. Seb tried to hold it there, realised he wasn't going to do it, had to concede and take to the runoff area, puts himself in 3rd, but still a podium is good points for him and additional points for the showdown. So it was important not to have totaled the car altogether on that last lap.
Job will have known that, Adam, won't he? That Field was so good through that final chicane. He knew he needed to brake extra late to make the corner, and he couldn't quite do enough. It was a great win for Field. I mean, that's one of his best performances, to beat Job in a straight fight. Not many people have done that this season.
Yeah, and that was the one thing that was sticking in my mind as we went on to the final lap. Sebastian Joe was such a good driver, races in the World Championship Series. He's had to soak up this pressure before, probably most likely, and I thought he was going to be able to do it again. But just that exit of the hairpin, he'd been drifting wide the last few laps, and then finally on the last lap, it just all fell for Simon Field. He had that inside line, and Sebastian Joe gave it a right good going into that final corner, and then he was able to, and then Simon Field just edged him wide, and he was able to take his 6th win of the season, and he's now becoming a showdown contender with these victories that he's racking up.
Yeah, we said to him, Alex, didn't we, a few weeks ago, how he was creeping up the championship table, and this is going to do him no harm whatsoever, is it?
No, not at all. Just having a quick look at where he is on the point situation now as well. Yeah, so 5 wins, that's a 6th win, like you say, Adam. So, yeah, that's more points that he's going to clock up. He's going to be closing in on Katz at the moment. He definitely will have overtaken Rushworth with that as well. So, at the start of the showdown, he's going to start off in like 4th place, just as it stands now. Still a long way to go as well. He keeps clocking up those wins, and we're going to see him. We're going to see him right in and around sort of Job and Svidovic.
Certainly the form driver in the field, really, Adam. And however, there's still a lot of races to go before the showdown. There's still 20-odd races left, and not forced to be in that form when we come there, but it's definitely a good starting point.
Yeah, in the last 6 race meetings, he's taken 3 race victories, and yeah, it just seems to be going his way at the moment. 6th win of the season, only 1 win behind Andreas Katz, and Sebastian Job on 8 wins, Wojciech Svidovic on 10, not able to add to those 10 victories tonight. He did take a race victory at Watkins Glen, but Svidovic just run a bit of an average race meeting, continues to rack up the points, and he'll be right on form when we head to the next race meeting, which is, as I look at the calendar,
Spa, I believe.
Spa-Francorchamps, and that's gonna throw up some interesting stuff as well. Spa-Francorchamps,
especially because the grid, Alex, can hold 60 cars.
Yeah, well, it's team race though, isn't it? So
yes, and it's 6-car teams, but it's the endurance layout.
Yeah.
No, so it is a
it's a drivers' championship event. Yeah.
So, oh well, yeah,
60 cars.
yeah, it's going to be massive.
Capacity field, and what a great way for it to be on Motors TV, showing you the best touring car racing on iRacing. Let's run you through the finishing order then. And the final race of the evening here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Simon Field takes the win. Alex Malensky in 2nd place. 3rd for Sebastian Job. 4th for Jamie Fluke and Daniel Hunt in 5th. Stelian Chepelewski in 6th. 7th for James Nash. Linus Bostrom in 8th. David Baker in 9th. And Robert Graham rounds out the top 10. Richard Gore 11th. Kip Stevens in 12th. Ben Palmer 13th. Paul Smith 14th and 15th for Steve Hefford. Stephen Burke 16th. 17th Daniel Kraft. 18th Lee Thompson, 19th Steve Richardson and Russell Laidler in 20th. 21st Colin Cunniff, 22nd John Roberts, 23rd Jerome Kaiser, 24th Andrew Whitehead, 25th James Leggett, 26th Jamie Rushworth, 27th Eckhart von Glan, 28th Pete Newman, 29th Mark Johnston, 30th Jake Blackhall, 31st Danimir Zuzov, 32nd Scott Malcolm, 33rd Laura Bond after starting on the pole, and in the cars 1 lap down or more, not classifiers, Robert Plumley, 34th, Wojciech Svidovic after that epic crabbing down the back straight, 35th, 36th for Steve Walker, and then 37th for Charlie Sears.
I wanted to show more of that footage of Wojciech, but unfortunately there was so much going on at the front that I just I couldn't show it, which was a bit unfortunate. But yeah, no, just unfortunate for Wojciech. He needed to get his car back to the pits, didn't he? If he'd have got a repair done, he would have been able to have come out and scored points, but he hasn't scored any points today. And I was just, as you were going through there, Adam, I saw all of those EOD cars in a line, but you're talking sort of 25th place. It's like, you know, complete change to the start of their season. And we were talking to Kaiser a little bit earlier on, and he's just saying that, you know, they're just struggling a little bit in recent weeks. So, you know, we're going to have to keep an eye on those because they had a dominant lead, and, you know, the guys behind are slowly catching them up. It's going to really spice up the Teams Championship now.
Yeah, the team standings have been pretty hard fought all the way through the campaign so far. There's still quite a long way to go for those guys, but it's getting ever harder, isn't it, for the other teams to join in the fun at the top of the showdown, of course. Top 3 teams all fighting it out for the top prize of $4,000. Remember, $10,000 grabs in this series, which is the highest prize outside of the iRacing World Championships, Alex. And tell you what, after doing 100 races, these guys are going to deserve the prize money, aren't they?
Oh, without a doubt. Longest series I've seen on iRacing, and fully deserves the the rewards that come at the end of it. You stick it out, that all turn up for every race. I mean, we just have a quick look at some of the stats. Just want to see who's on like 100% at the moment. Unfortunately, I can't actually see from the top 10. But John Roberts 100%, Rob Plumley 100%, Steve Burke 100%. There's not many that have done 100% of the races. I'm guessing
Vidovic, I think.
Yeah, I can't see the guys, unfortunately, on the top 10. The stats not showing me that from the table I'm looking at. But pretty decent from all those people. Lots of them sort of in the high 90s as well. Summer breaks, summer holidays obviously have kicked in a little bit of recent weeks as well. But yeah, like I say, if you can turn up and do what is going to be, I think we're going to end up about 96 races, aren't we, with the team races and things like that in there? That's going to be some going.
Oh, right, have we got any drivers we want to bring down for an interview then?
I'd like to bring Simon Field.
Yeah, I think we should speak to Field as well. Let me see, where is he?
He's in the Pete Newman channel.
Yeah, there he is.
Simon Field joins us in the commentary box. Simon, congratulations on that third race victory. It looked like you've been setting up Sebastian Job out of the hairpin the last few laps, and on the final lap you just were able to get it done.
Yeah, I have to admit, like I say, I tried it a couple of times, to be honest, and he, with that outside line, he tended to get the run and get back in front, but this time I think he went a little bit deep, so I was able to stick alongside him and throw a move at the last turn. Very pleased.
You were I'll start again. You were generally one of the quickest guys out there in most of the races tonight, Simon, and after we all thought Dan Hunt would probably run away with it, but it's a pleasant surprise to have such a good meeting, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I have to say, Dan's qualifying pace was phenomenal. The times he was doing, I was just sitting there laughing, to be honest, because I had nothing for that. But race pace was quite good in the car, and to keep up with someone like Sebastian, that feels quite good as well. And all right, race 2 didn't quite go to plan, but a win and I think a top 10 in race 1. That's it's just keep putting points in the bank. So it's it's a happy meeting.
Yeah, we were looking at the showdown points. Obviously, you were sat at the start of showdown. You were sat before this race with in 5th place. So a win obviously bags a few more points to start that off as well, and probably up to 4th place as well. Closing in on Katz. Obviously, Katz not around this week, so it's got to be good to know that you're sitting in the sort of top 5 already before the showdown even starts.
Yeah, it is nice. Like I say, I'm trying to get a bit of consistency back. I was never, to be honest, the number of wins I've had this season is quite surprising. I tend to, I was normally more consistent, just constant top 10s and things. I've been a bit more inconsistent this season, but like I say, bagging the wins gets the big points, and that's it seems to be working for me so far. Well, how it goes when we get to the showdown, we'll see. But very pleased.
Awesome, thanks very much, Simon. We will let you disappear back to your team. Congratulations again, and we'll see you in a week's time.
Thank you very much, guys.
Well, Spa-Francorchamps next week, Andrew. 60 cars all fanning out of Radion and going down towards Les Combes. Going to be something special.
Yeah, I think it could be one of the most extraordinary sights that anybody's ever seen on iRacing or in a real race or anywhere. I mean, I do urge everyone to watch next week on Motors TV and definitely check that out, because it should be something. It should be something extraordinary. Alex, we've seen 60-car grids there before in 24-hour races and the like, but
Yeah,
60 cars of the same class is going to be something
yeah,
ridiculous, isn't it?
That's what I was about to say. The multi-class, what we normally see it on, and you expect that kind of thing. But yeah, 60 Kias all flying down there. I mean, I know how treacherous Lacombe is with 35 cars of the same type flowing down there. Yeah, I tell you what, we are going to bring out a safety car there. I could guarantee it on that first race. That's so tight through there. There's no way we're not going to see an incident there. I will be at awe of all of the drivers if they get through that cleanly.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we saw in Spirit of VLN there was a massive pile up there, and the Kia is definitely susceptible to going through Eau Rouge. I'm not sure it's going to be 100% easy, but I think if the guys take care, I think we can have some great racing there. 100%.
Well, yeah, back in, was it season 7 or season 6, we had overcast conditions for races 2 and 3, and it was just chaotic going through the Eau Rouge for the first time. Loads of cars going off, and I think we could be in for some of the same, even though it is the endurance layout where we start on the run to Eau Rouge. Imagine if we were starting on the Grand Prix circuit, going into Rouge flat out on cold tyres. That could have been something special.
Yeah, and going to be very, very interesting indeed. Right, guys, thank you very much to Adam and to Alex for joining me as usual in the commentary box. It's been a very fun afternoon's racing here in Montreal. We will see you next time for 60 cars at Spa-Francorchamps here on Motors TV. See you then.